Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. If you're traveling for the holidays this year, it's time to start planning now. Joining us with tips to help holiday travel feel a little less like the Hunger Games, we welcome back the author of How to Avoid Strangers on Airplanes, Brandon Blewitt. It's great to see you, Brandon.
Thanks for having me back. So good to see you.
The Hunger Games is real, right? The holidays are stressful. Everybody's trying to go a million places with crying children and all the things.
It is. It is. It can certainly feel like the Hunger Games, both literally and figuratively, especially around the Thanksgiving holiday when everything is condensed into a period of 5 days, unlike the summer or the winter holiday periods.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is really tough and it's coming up. So let's talk about just being aware of what those peak days are and kind of navigating through, if you can, maybe not traveling on the busiest of all the days.
Well, statistically, Wednesday before Thanksgiving and the Sunday after are the busiest travel days within the US. So if you're able to take off, Monday or Tuesday or work remote, sometimes the flights are going to be a little cheaper and there's going to be a lot less chaos at the airport if you fly out Sunday or Monday. Similarly, if you go to see your family earlier, maybe you're worn out on your family time come at the end of the Thanksgiving dinner and you want to fly back on Friday. Friday and Saturdays, I've typically found to be much less crowded and chaotic at the airport as well.
Well, and I've found recently too, I've flown a couple of times on Thanksgiving Day in recent years, and it's still super busy. There's still a ton of people just getting to where they're going because they worked and the kids had school and all the things.
Right. And Thanksgiving Day, too, if there's any kind of weather delays on Wednesday, that's all getting pushed onto Thursday, especially those morning flights so that people can make it in time for lunch. So it is a holiday because of the condensed period that you're never going to completely eliminate the crowds and the lines, but I would say it's a good rule of thumb that Wednesday and Sunday just prepare for, at least an extra hour of time that you would otherwise need.
That's a good point. Just going with all the information. Okay, let's talk about just getting to the airport and the parking situation and what to think about there.
Absolutely. There's so many apps now that are available for the private parking lots that are near the airport, as well as the parking garages that are on site at the various airports. So I would always check to see what the parking availability is. And if you can reserve a spot in advance, do so. Sometimes you can even get early bird specials. So that way you're not driving around a garage or a lot just completely nervous that you're not going to find a spot in time to get to the check-in and to your gate before the flight closes its boarding doors.
And sometimes now you can even check security wait times before you pull up to the airport.
Yeah, you can. A lot of airports have that. And what's helpful is as long as you don't have to go to a completely different terminal, if there's multiple TSA stations at the same terminal, you don't have to go to the one closest to your gate. If it's 30 minutes plus at C1, but at C15, it's 10 to 20. Well, maybe it's worth going to C20 and getting in some steps as you make your way to C1.
There you go. Okay, other ways to use the tech, even if you've booked your flight through maybe a third party, you got to download the app of the airline that you're flying. It's so helpful.
It is. If you rely on third parties, they're not going to be able to track the delays the same way that the airline does. So when you put your reservation, your confirmation number into the airline's app, it's going to send you any delay notifications, any gate change notifications. And a lot of times, once the airline knows that you're on a flight, they will send out pending weather notifications so that if you need to make changes, if you're connecting through an area which might be impacted by storms, you can maybe sometimes get maneuvered around so that you can make it where you need to go on time.
Yeah, that's a lot less painful when you have that helpful perspective ahead of time that you're going to get there eventually. What about knowing your food options even before you get to the airport? Sometimes we're so flustered and, oh my gosh, I didn't even eat breakfast. Now what?
Right. I'd say that you should definitely go to the airport's website, identify your concourse. It's quite easy to find the food options that are available. But a handy trick for me, if you're in a rush, there could always be lines at the airport. Pack snacks that are going to get through TSA, so that way you always have a meal handy. And your bottle of water, if you bring a refillable one and fill it up at the water station, you might save yourself $10 or so.
That's true. Oh my gosh, that one bottle of water gets so expensive at the airport. Okay, and you kind of mentioned earlier, especially for Thanksgiving, it's such a condensed window. Everybody's going through it and trying to figure it out. Just keeping the perspective that we're all doing our best.
Exactly. I think that you need to look at travel this time of year as a group project with complete strangers. And if you keep a sense of humor on you, that travels well. I can't tell you how many times either I've been aggravated or somebody else has seemed aggravated. And when you make eye contact, smile, you start to laugh about what's unfolding, and you find a lot of the scenery quite entertaining once that perspective shifts.
And think about if you're having a tough day, think about the flight attendants and gate agents and all those people. They're going through it too. So we got to help them out and do our best.
Always respect the crew and the gate agents. They can be your lifesavers in some very sticky situations. So yes, always be kind. I like to bring M&Ms or gifts sometimes as well, just to show a token of appreciation.
That's always so nice. Brandon, thank you so much. It was great to see you.
Thanks. Good to see you too.
The book again is How to Avoid Strangers on Airplanes. We'll have more information on our website at katu.com.